Another all-time high day, Rocco. Another all-time high day, everybody. All right, let's see what's going on. I know a lot of the big fun part of today was Roaring Kid AC and his first YouTube in a couple of years, and he's got just a few more followers than I do. But whole hubbub for nothing. GameStop closed down 40%. I like the guy. I think he's a good guy and he's entertaining, but I don't care about meme stocks. All right, so let's take a look at the markets today and see what happened for real. SPY closed down 20 bips on, again, low volume. New all-time highs, though. Let me go to the headline screen here and see what actually moved markets to Dizzle. What's today in Snoop language? So today, Brazil gold and bonds hit hard in a sell-off. Today was the jobs number this morning, so gold and bonds reacted in the same way, down hard, and Brazil's dealing with their own issues. But these guys got hit hard today. We'll look at the charts. While nat gas continues to run, it was the best trade of the market. That continued up 4.5% today. And SPY, QQQ, a couple other indices, the mega caps, top 50 trades to new all-time highs. And this week in summer characterized by large rallies in nat gas, small market, but the biggest, absolute move in the marketplace, even in a multiple sigma standard deviation risk-adjusted way. And semis up big this week, so a nice recovery for the semis, led by TSM earlier in the week, with heavy declines in Mexico. Mexico got absolutely throttled today, taken out even lower than the dramatic fall on Monday after they elected that president. So really crazy. And also uranium down hard. That's a volatile equity, a volatile name, though, so it can bounce back very quickly. So let's take a look. There's some interesting stuff that happened today, including stuff that we were talking about. So here's the chart. Let me flip it around. That's my beautiful mug. It is Friday. Celtics won last night. I knew it. Unfortunately, I'm rooting for the underdogs, but Celtics are so balanced, man. I said in January, unfortunately, they were going to have a freaking parade in June, and I think it's going to happen. All right, so what happened was at 8:30 a.m., pivoting from Porzingis to non-farm payrolls. So we went in SPY terms from 536 to 531 on that number, 4% unemployment and yada, yada. Now there's no more price cuts priced in for this year. So market digesting that. We actually did rally all the way to a high at 1 o'clock, which is around the European close. And then the bottom kind of fell out in a way, not dramatically, but around 3 o'clock, we gave up VWAP, or volume weighted average price, started closing below that. And then you did see kind of an exit at 4 p.m. to close near the lows. Technically, the lows of the day. So, you have that. Qs were, down 10 bips, and IWM got hammered down 1.1%. Larger picture, zooming out, looking at SPY. I like I said yesterday, it's probably going to go to his 538 upper target. I would have a higher bias in the markets for the next week and a half or so. And then in terms of sell-offs, I don't think you're going to get much worse than 526, which is $8 or 1.5% away from here. So bullish. We're not going to feature the chart of VXX, but hit a 52-week low today while you're hitting all-time highs in the markets, what you want to see. I bought more equities today. I also bought Bitcoin today and a couple of accounts. So mega cap tech I bought today and Bitcoin. All right, so let me see what else here. Let's go into what else moved today. So first one, as we get away from the broader market and go into what moved today, only one asset moved in a multiple sigma move, and it was nat gas, continuing its run of 4.5% nearly today. So this thing has got to zoom in because it's such a piece of crapola. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I mean, this would have been a really nice entry. Got two chances last week, and then it popped right from there. 18 to 20. That's a big move. Like I said before, I think it wants to try to make a move towards that 200-day moving average or thereabouts. That mark is 2113. That's pretty aggressive, but it's got momentum, obviously, with today. My first target was 2075. How high did it get today? 2032. It closed basically very close to it. I think it wants to get very close to that. It'll take a week or two, I think. So that was the only thing that was up. Let's look at stuff that moved down dramatically. So EWZ, this thing has been, a good short idea all year. This one down hard today, 3.5%. This thing looks like it wants to live under its 200-day moving average. It's really been sheer resistance for since, mid-April. An ugly bar here. It's basically at its 52-week low. That's 28.41, which it did it back in October. So not looking great. In terms of support, I would expect 29. Oof. Yeah, I mean, you would have thought I had 29.5 on the calculated support level on another screen using, volatility and Bollinger Bands and average true range, but it blew through that today. You might see a mean reversion here to get back towards 29.5, but this looks very weak. I don't really know which way it's going to go. It looks weak though. This doesn't look strong. GDX, they came for gold and gold miners. That was the story today as well, big time outside of Brazil. So if you look at GDX in aggregate here, so a positive story. I think looks great. My other data provider just shot me money flow buy and relative strength buy alerts on this for yesterday as it had a strong close. You can look at that bar. But this thing just seized off from 34, then went all the way to 36, call it. And then now it's back to, pretty much near its lower band. 33, I think, is a great entry for here. To target 37. This, I think, looks good. I mean, today was ugly, obviously. But I think you might want to buy this as it bounces towards 35 and then eventually tries to target 37. Just not its day with the huge move in bonds. We'll take a look at that in a second. But these things move, similar to silver, which we're going to look at. If you can stomach it, I think this looks good for a buy. GLD, obviously going to reflect the chart we just did. Let me look at which one's better. Yeah, so this, you can see, actually closed right. What is the lower band? 211.88. We closed below it. That's pretty rare. It hasn't done that since February, where it closed below. And then what happened? It showed, it catapulted basically to the buy, to all buys essentially. Yeah, I think there's the support here is good at 212, 211, 212. This looks, I mean, it's been support essentially since April. And this is where it also entered its overbought period. That's a little bit lower at 200, but typically those prices don't get revisited because there's a line of buyers. And then here there's more buyers, so it might revisit this level first, which is 208. It's knocking on the door here as it kissed 50 away on the 50 RSI away on the 14-day here. So it doesn't look particularly great, but this did dish top at 226 2.5 weeks ago. I like it if you could stomach it. I hate gold in the metals, but this is an area of the market down hard today. Gold 3.5% is no small move for gold. So if you could stomach it, I think you can get some gains in this. Maybe dollar cost average. IEF, this is the bond ETF that moved the most. This is the 7 to 10 year part of the curve. So this is significantly, meaning a rise in rates, obviously with the jobs number. So this, man. So not a great story. This thing topped, IEF. I'll give you a near-term top, was right around here. It flashed up on February 1st to about 96. And here you see this 200-day moving average closer to 93, pretty much right where we closed, down 1%. Just messy. I don't really have comments. I think it's going to try and get back to 94, back to here, before it starts to oscillate down towards 92. All right, and then let's look at the aforementioned silver chart, which is just crazy. We were talking about this and said, we missed it. We thought it was ready for allocation for dollars, and then look what happened. You got another chance. We said this stuff moves. So the top was here on May 20th at 29.56. It's come all the way back down here below its 21 exponential moving average. I think this looks good. I think this even looks better than silver. I mean, better than gold. If you could angle a setup here, I have a top up to like 27.45, which is a 21 exponential moving average, and it's still rising even with this bad bar, but it's had it did close lower on the week, but overall still a positive trajectory. I think this is going to try and get to 29, so this looks good as well. If you have no metals in your portfolio, I think they're looking a little bit right after this get back. All right, top 5 gainers of the past 5 days. No repeats in terms of looking up charts. It's the best trade of the past week. Friday to Friday. Nat gas up 14% or an average of 3% ish a day. Remarkable. SMH, the second best long in the market. Usually when that goes up, you're going to have a bullish week, and hence we had new all-time highs in the Qs and S&P today. So this, I think it did too much of its work, its upside in one or 2 days. So my target for this is around 250. So, and to toggle around there, maybe 252 around here where we are, but literally I have 250 on another sheet. So maybe a rotation into other assets. I know IDM has been lagging. Maybe you don't see SMH, NVIDIA leading the broad markets to the upside over the next 1 to 2 weeks, and you see a little bit flow into the other assets which have lagged. That's what I would anticipate from this. Let's see another chart for ARC. So another thing, so I used to use ARC as my downside put spreads. I changed now into ARC-G, which is the genomic revolution. So basically, Kathy Wood's biotech fund. So I now roll put spreads on ARC-G. I implemented this starting today and not in ARC. Not that I don't think ARC is going to be off to the races or anything, but it looks ARC-G looks weaker and like a better short. So in terms of ARC here, yeah, I think this wants to get. I still see, like I said, buying pressure in the market overall. So I think this wants to leapfrog over its 200-day moving average and try and get as high as this 47. And it kind of explained my thesis about why I got out. 47 would be a big move, maybe 46 half first. It was down 2% today. Yeah, that's maybe 46, maybe not quite 47, maybe 46, which is still a huge move, and I don't want to be a part of that. It was the third best long this week, up 3%, not huge, but that was that move. ARC-G, the fourth best long in the market, up 3%. So I, like I said, I changed, and I'm now using ARC-G. This one just looks heavier. It's not even close to its 200-day, where ARC-K is more flattening. This one has a tougher road. Still bottomed back basically Halloween down to $22. I'm in a put spread. It's a calendar, so long July puts, short June puts. Help subsidize the trade, and I'll do that every 2 weeks or so when upon expiry. This, yeah, maybe on a crazy strength that wants to get to 28, but I don't see that happening. Maybe tries to angle to get to 27 first, but it hit hard today. Down 4.5% was ARC-G, so down hard. It's still up, fourth best gainer on the week. And then this one I think is important. This is the fifth best gainer in the week. It's IGV, very important. Not maybe super important, but this was the one super in the news last week with the ServiceNow getting smoked and Salesforce and Adobe and those names. This has had a nice rally. We always try to look as soon as when it gets to pierce the 200-day moving average. Is it going to live there? Is this a new sentiment change? What's going on? And look what happened. It closed there under it for a day. 2 out of 3 days here. So, moments in crisis, and then they've rallied back. And now it's right back to its 21-day exponential moving average. So nothing, horrendous. But I am looking at significant resistance at 85. I do not think this is getting taken out. This 85 has proved to be troublesome for this space since the end of March, and I don't think the strength is going to be with it. And the 200-day, it's still rising, albeit small, but there's other better pockets of the market to invest in this. Salesforce did recover a bit, which led to the strength in this ETF. Come from 70, not a huge move, but it did mean revert from 77 to 80. All right, now top 5 losers of the past 5 days, because there have been some big ones to the downside. EWW, absolutely just honestly breathtaking, down 5.5% today, lower than where it was after the whole election was Sunday night, I believe. So crazy. The call I said on Monday was expecting mean reversion to around that 200-day moving average, which is where typically where investors have valued Mexico for specifics. The past 10 months. So, and that number was 63.70. So we actually did get very close to that, but they rejected it, and that doesn't look too good. I got to literally 63.30, and then got Dikembe all the way down here to 57. So not good. This looks like 67. This stuff is, I don't want to say ancient history, but this is very, very tough road ahead, let's say, for Mexico. Superstar, just as recently as April, being overbought into a 52-week high at $71 and now 57 due to this geopolitics. I believe this year a third of the globe actually is voting. So potentially a sign for things to come. Maybe not in the U.S. where we're having all-time highs and new 52-week lows in VXX, but not everywhere else. You saw what the ECB did; they cut rates, but their markets are still hanging in. So that was EWW, the biggest loser on the week, down 12% on the week. That's crazy for a country. Uranium, the second biggest short in the market, and the third best trade overall, down almost 7% in the past week. So this one, yeah, topped very recently, May 20th at $34, call it. Now trading at 30. I'm rounding. Nice momentum here to the upside. I think you're getting a good opportunity. I think this is going to, yeah, so silver looks ripe, gold, uranium, you don't need all of them. But I think this is going to want to pop to 31.40. Pretty, just like it gives it back, uranium can easily regain it. So nothing significantly troublesome in this. I don't have uranium right now. Might look at it, including it. You can also do bid minor if you want to add, a different exposure of risk. But I think this is going to pop to 31.40 or so. It's 21-day exponential moving average. It just has strong profile still. Okay. XME, the metals and mining, again, reflecting what we were talking about with the, the down moves in gold and silver. Let me take a look at this. Strong story. XME also put its high in the day after this chart we just looked at, the uranium. So these things kind of move together, obviously. Yeah, I think this is going to mean revert as well to like 62. So similar. Yeah, this can't hold a good man down. I think it's going to go to 62 first. And if it shows more strength, I think this gets ultimately to 66 and new 52-week high. So this looks strong. If you're not in this area, I would potentially look. I might have to re-look at it because I'm not directly exposed. TAN, I just been looking at this one because I think it can be a nice trade. iClean has yielded similar results. So let's take a look at it. This big line in the sand, oh man, it said it has to hold it for about a month before it really reflects like a turnaround. And it's not doing it now. It actually closed beneath it. So the level for those tracking is 46.5, and it closed below it with this big down move today, down 3.3%. So now, and it's at smack dab, it's 52 in its 14-day RSI. I think this is going to go down, and that's going to prove that was it. I don't think, and then we can see what happens in the next cycle. But for this move, I don't think, I think it was a nice little overshoot. It could not quite make these December highs at 54, which was, essentially the next target in a volatile asset class. And I saw Sedge, Solar Edge Technologies was one of the major holding in this was making 52-week lows. Usually not a great sign if the major holder is making 52-week lows, which for this would be here. And to be honest, I think this wants to get to 41. So this could have a big move to the downside. I might be trying to target this from the downside, but again, I'm seeing overall broadening of the market, so I don't want to get crazy bearish. And then lastly, Bitto, the fifth worst trade in the market, specifically Bitto. Bitcoin I saw at 69 or so K today. I bought more. This looks, like it's trying to bottom right around here. I think it's going to hover right around 27. I think you're going to get a little bit of a pop. We'll see what happens with Bitcoin trading over the weekend. But this looks fine. I don't love the fact that it topped all the way back here, March 13th. But I think this will trade around 27 even, right around here. And then if, things get really exuberant, you can try and target, 29 if you get some kind of a vol expansion. But, yeah, first things first. So, again, this whole week, really the big takeaways, nat gas ripped, Mexico just crazy, dramatic, breathtaking, all those words you can use. And then uranium, a heavy hit, and it may be setting up from, the buy side at this point. Whew. All right, that was a mouthful. Enjoy your weekend, and peace.